Hello and welcome to Got It Covered, where we ask some of the region's best musicians to tackle songs which they might not have otherwise considered playing. I'm your host, Victor Infante, and we're coming to you from the studios at WCCA TV in beautiful downtown Worcester. Tonight, we've asked the Worcester area's own Lovina to tackle Live to Tell by Madonna. Let's see how it goes.
Tale to tell. Sometimes it gets so hard to hide it well. I was not ready for the fall, too blind to see the writing on the wall. Tell 1,000 lies. I've learned my lesson well. Hope I live to tell the secret I have learned. Till then, it will burn inside of me. I know where beauty lives. I've seen it once. I know the warmth she gives, the light that you will never see. It shines inside, you can't take that from me. A man can tell 1,000 lies. I've learned my lesson well. Hope I live to tell the secret I have learned. Till then, it will burn inside of me. The truth is never far behind. You kept it hidden well. Hope I live to tell the secret I knew then. Will I ever have the chance again? If I run away, I'd never have the strength to go very far. How will they hear the beating of my heart? Will it grow cold, the secret that I hide? Will I grow old? How will they hear? When will they learn? How will they know? A man can tell 1,000 lies. I've learned my lesson well. Hope I live to tell the secret I have learned. Till then, it will burn inside of me. The truth is never far behind. You kept it hidden well. If I live to tell the secret I knew then, will I ever have the chance again?
All right, that was Live to Tell as performed by Lovina, who's here with us now. So tell us, before we talk a little about your music and about your background and such, but what was your reaction when you were asked to play a Madonna song?
I was very pleased with the song. I got actually because I was a big fan of Madonna when I was a kid, and I loved that song "Live to Tell." So I was really happy that I got that song.
Really, because you put a lot of feeling into that song. What is it that speaks to you in it?
Well, I think it's about a relationship, and a lot of my songs are very personal too, and it's got a bit of mystery to it, which I also like.
Yeah.
She talks about a secret. She doesn't really reveal what it is, so it kind of leaves you to wonder and make up a story in your own mind. I like that about it.
She plays a really interesting balancing act there, where she's has that layer of mystery, and yet it doesn't feel airy. It doesn't feel like diffuse, like she could be talking about anything. There's something very specific there, and you can feel that thing.
Right, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's not necessarily, it has, you react to it. The listener reacts to it. So was that intimidating? Because, a lot of the songs we give people have a kind of a cheesy edge to it,
Right.
and that one really doesn't.
No, I didn't feel intimidated at all, but I just wanted, excuse me, to be very true to the song. So I did sort of a simple pared down arrangement, and I didn't want to change it too much because I really did love the song. I wanted to keep the integrity, as it was, and just do it justice.
Was there anything particularly challenging in playing the song?
I guess probably just, hammering it out on the piano, just making it fluid, kind of making it my own. Getting the changes right and everything.
Well, that's the hard thing with any of these challenges is putting it in your own voice, because we don't want people to be a karaoke machine,
right.
as it were.
Yeah, exactly.
And a lot of it, I find a lot of artists actually have to sort of discover who they are in this process, which is really interesting.
Yeah, it is.
At least for me, I was watching from the sidelines and, clapping maniacally and pretending I'm stroking a white cat or whatever I'm doing when I'm making musicians do this. But so how did you get started with music? Now, you're from a musical family.
Yeah, my dad is a musician. He's a multi-instrumentalist. He plays, just about anything he can put his hands on, mainly piano. So, I grew up listening to him play songs on the piano like Roy Orbison and the Beatles and Elton John, Billy Joel. So I was just always around music, and I don't even remember learning to play piano. That was my first instrument. I was probably really young. I'm sure my dad showed me some chords. I never took lessons, but just kind of was always kind of there. I just would sit down and just play around and figure stuff out. So yeah, it just kind of started from there.
What sort of music were you drawn to playing at early on?
Well, I guess I would just kind of make songs up, out of chords that I thought sounded neat together, and I knew nothing about theory, and then I tried reading music a little. I don't know how to read music, so I bought sheet music for Tori Amos. I was a big fan of hers when I was a teenager, so obviously piano. I sat down and if I really concentrate, I can read the music and could play those songs. But mostly it was a lot of my own stuff, and then. Well, I took guitar lessons for a short time when I was 16, and then I was at that time really into Nirvana. So it was quite different, different worlds, that I got into.
So very 90s here.
Yeah, very 90s.
It's at the time they seemed very different, and now they seem
Right.
kind of related. And of course, Tori Amos has that great cover of "Smells Like Teen Spirit,"
right.
which
Yeah.
she does. They were friends.
Yeah.
So maybe not as disparate as it seems on reflection, but. I'm going off in music geek territory where I live half the time. But so how do you always feel like you're one of those musicians that sort of emerges a little bit. You don't make a full-time effort to be out performing all the time, but you always seem to be playing and recording stuff and putting it online. So where do you see yourself right now in your music?
Well, right now, I've been concentrating on writing a lot and also learning to play the drums. Yeah, I'm teaching myself to play the drums because I felt that was a weak spot. I want to record an album of my own material or just songs, put out just singles. I don't really feel like in the digital age you need to wait to release a full album. So I'm kind of planning on just releasing some singles. I already released one, and I'm playing all the instruments on that track. And then just kind of took a pause to teach myself drums to get a little better at drums because I only knew some basic beats. So yeah, that's what I'm doing now, learning the drums, still writing. I play mainly ukulele. Every single day I play and sing and come up with new stuff. And I am actually hoping to play out more pretty soon.
In fact, you actually just did a show with me and a couple of our other guests on the show.
Yes,
actually.
I did. Yep, and that was great.
That was a wonderful experience. That was Farm Fest at Ralph's Rock Diner, and that was spectacular. I think you actually blew the room away.
Oh, thank you.
So there you go. But it's funny because when I first met you, which was a long time ago now, I didn't associate you with music at all. I met you in the poetry scene.
Oh yeah.
So where did that interest come from?
Well, my sister's a poet, so I would always go to the poetry readings, local readings in Worcester with her, like back in the day at the Java Hut, and I met so many folks, who were involved in the scene, and there is some crossover there, like Tony Brown and the Duende Project, crossover between the poetry and music scenes. I mean, Worcester is such, a tight-knit community, the art and the music and the poetry, like everyone all kind of knows one another, but I mean, also like, at the Java Hut during that time, they would have, poetry readings a couple nights a week, and they would have an open mic. So we like lived there, when I was in my early college years.
How did that really affect you, though, as an artist, having so many different influences in that space? And that
it was great. It was just like so much stimulation, and I created a lot during that time. Just being in a very fostering environment with so many creative people, and I was going to art school at the time. So
yeah, and you're also a visual artist.
Yes,
too.
yeah.
You're a really creative person.
Oh, thanks.
I mean, and I actually know some artists have trouble when they find themselves not sharpening one skill while they're doing so many at once. Is that ever an issue for you?
Not really, but I'm kind of happy to be a sort of jack of all trades, master of none kind of a thing. I have certain strengths in music, like, probably vocals, I think, is my strength.
Your vocals are gorgeous.
Oh, thank you. And, I'm not like an excellent, piano player. I can get by, it's like I'm not really dedicated to any one specific thing, but I'd rather have, the range of different things that I enjoy. And, I guess in the visual arts world, it's photography that I kind of concentrate on there.
Yeah, now it's funny because one of your probably most talked about experiments was your selfie a day that you were posting on Facebook.
Yeah,
that even got written up in Worcester Magazine.
Right.
And how long did you do that for?
It's still going on, actually.
Still going on. How long has it been?
I think it's been about 10 years. Yep, taking
Wow.
a picture every day at work for 10 years. Yep.
Have you ever thought about putting it into a slideshow and just like?
Yeah. People have asked me, if I'm going to animate it. I actually did animate the first 3 years and then just haven't added to it.
A lot of animation, I think, at that point.
I think it'd be kind of neat to have a show, have like print them out kind of small and just have a giant grid like spanning the entire gallery space or something. I have grand visions.
I can see that happening. This is funny because I was thinking about this the other day. This is the sort of town where that sort of thing could happen.
Yeah, I can picture that. Yeah.
It's like you could find there's a couple funky galleries where that could happen. I could see that. I could see that being a possibility. I think it would go over really well, actually.
Yeah.
So you're working on an album. Mm-hmm. Tell us a little about some of the songs that you're writing now, because I've heard some, and they're really striking. And
thank you.
They've got a really great emotive quality to them, which I love.
Well, I mean, my songwriting, pretty much from the start has been a journey of the self, I guess. Everything I write is very autobiographical. I write about things that are happening currently in my life. Like, it's rare that I'll go back and write about something from the past. So I guess it's, the songs I'm writing now, it's just kind of like where I'm at in terms of, relationships and the growth of self, and also like a positive outlook on life, which I think is very important to cling to.
Excellent. And so I imagine we'll be hearing something from your more recent works tonight?
This one was written a few years ago, actually. Yep.
And what are we going to be hearing?
Well, I can't say the name of it on TV, but it's called, I'll just say Piece of Crap. It's a metaphor about a relationship and my car.
I'm looking forward to hearing it.
Thank you. Tonight I wish you weren't so handsome, and I wish I wasn't so lonely. I wish that I didn't love you so much, or that you didn't love me so little. And I think I don't know who you are, and I know I don't know who I am. I think, goddamn, I could drive to the ocean if I only had a car that wouldn't break quite as easily as my heart.
wish I didn't have that picture of you, the one etched into my mind. I wish that loving you didn't feel like I was poisoning myself. And I think I don't know who you are, and I know I don't know who I am. I think, goddamn, I could drive to the ocean if I only had a car that wouldn't break quite as easily as my heart. I wish sometimes my head could tell my heart what to do. I wish you well, I do. I wish the pain would stop for both of us. And I think I don't know who you are, and I know I don't know who I am. I think, goddamn, I could drive to the ocean if I only had a car that wouldn't break quite as easily as my heart. I think, goddamn, I could drive to the ocean if I only had